Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a truck barreled into a Rockcastle County home over the weekend with no driver behind the wheel. And a relaxing evening in a Harlan County lake quickly turned into a scary situation after a man nearly drowned this weekend. Plus, mourners gathered Saturday to say goodbye to famed bounty hunter Beth Chapman after her battle with cancer came to an end.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 4:59 on Monday, July the 1st. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News This Morning. Well, we had some sunny days at the end of June, but the majority of it was filled with rain. Let's bring Brandon in this morning to give us a breakdown of what to expect on this first full week of July. Brandon, are we going to see some July rain like we saw in June?
Oh yeah, listen, we're not going to get rid of that so easily. The hot, hazy, humid conditions will continue and those daily chances for rain as well. The big problem this morning is the fog. Let's take a look at the WYMT studio camera, and we're fogged in here pretty good in Hazard. A lot of spots, if less than a mile visibility or less than 5 miles, of course, that's the cutoff there for dense fog. So just be careful this morning as you travel. Live pinpoint Doppler radar finally quiet after some heavier bands of rain came through in the overnight hours. Temperatures close to 70, upper 60s this morning. We'll see one exception there at Wise there at 63. Your out the door forecast for you today. Keep an eye on that fog. Be careful. Give yourself plenty of time. Temperatures climbing to the upper 80s once again this afternoon. I'll have the rest of the forecast coming up here in just a few minutes. Will?
Alrighty, Brandon, thank you. Well, a truck barreled into a Rockcastle County home over the weekend, and authorities say no one was driving. The crash happened Saturday in the Broadhead community, tearing a large hole through the home and damaging the inside. The homeowner, Dewey M. Jack Lake, was inside of the home when it happened, but was not injured. People in the area tell us the truck belonged to a neighbor who had no idea what happened to make the truck lose control.
He said he was unloading the little Kubota, and as soon as he dispatched the trailer, it just took off on him.
Family members say both the home and the truck are insured. The man who lives there is staying in a motel for the time being. There is a saying that not all heroes wear capes, and an incident that happened at Martins Fork Lake in Harlan County proves that is true. Friday, a man nearly drowned when two people rushed to save his life. WYMT's Katie Cook talked with the people who helped rescue the man.
It was an average evening at Martins Fork Lake.
There was maybe half of who's here right now.
The sun was starting to go down when Ashley Osborne heard a faint yell.
It was when all this happened so fast. I hear someone yell help. I looked up and there was just 3 people on the water.
What she didn't see at the time was a young man struggling under the surface.
I thought they were playing because there was no splashing, there was no commotion, there was nothing.
A quiet scene, but the faint cries for help soon continued.
And I just looked over at Chris and I just yelled. I was like, Chris, get them.
Christopher Thompson is Ashley's husband.
I turned around and I wasn't 20 foot from him, so I, immediately started swimming to him.
The man drowning pulled Chris under, using him as a crutch to reach the surface for air.
And honestly, there for a minute, I was scared for my life.
I said, help, someone please help. My husband's drowning.
And that's when Jason Foltz stepped in.
So I ran from here all the way to the middle, right around here.
Finally, after more struggling, they were able to get the young man to shore.
He was looking dead up at the sky. His eyes is the bluest thing I'd ever saw.
And as paramedics arrive, they all walk away heroes.
He called me a hero. I told him that, it was a group effort, but hero wouldn't be the term that I'd use because I just want someone to absolutely do the same exact thing for one of my children.
And thankfully, because of their selfless act, a life was saved.
Having a floating device with you never hurts because you never know what's going to happen when you get out there over your head.
And many lessons learned. In Harlan County, Katie Cook, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, though the victim did not want to talk to us about the incident, he expressed extreme gratitude towards those who saved his life. Authorities encouraged anyone who is swimming in a lake to wear a life jacket at all times. Well, in sad news this morning, 10 people are dead after a plane crash. The crash occurred shortly after takeoff yesterday at the Addison Municipal Airport in Addison, Texas. The plane crashed into a hangar and officials say it later caught fire. Names of the victims have not been released at this time. And 3 people were sent to the hospital after a car hit a passenger's tram at Dollywood on Saturday. Several guests received bumps and bruises, but 3 were sent to the hospital with minor injuries. A spokesperson said the guests were sent to the hospital, quote, under an abundance of caution. Mourners gathered Saturday to say goodbye to famed bounty hunter Beth Chapman. A memorial service was held in Waikiki, Hawaii. Family and friends said a prayer, then tossed flowers into the ocean in memory of the reality TV star. A second memorial service will be held in Colorado, where Chapman and her husband Dwayne "Dog" Chapman also had a home. Beth Chapman died Wednesday after battling cancer. She was 51. A Logan County firefighter has died after colliding with the tractor trailer in a side-by-side Saturday night. Logan County deputies say the victim was Ernie Woods. The crash happened on Route 44 near Wilkinson. The troopers say the side-by-side lost control and swerved into the opposing lane, causing a collision with the tractor trailer. Well, thank you for getting your day started with us right here on Mountain News this morning. Just ahead, zoo-goers in Illinois can now say hello to one zoo's adorable new addition.
And welcome once again to July. The hot and humid trend followed us into the new month, and it looks to stick around for a while. Have your full forecast in about 3 minutes.